Hi everyone, welcome to the family table. My name is Cathy and I am so excited to let you know we are going into season 3. Believe it or not, it's been 3 years since we started doing the family table. What we're going to do this year to kind of liven things up, we're going to go around the world. We're going to have different recipes from different nationalities and other cultures and different things to kind of like spice up your life. It's been 3 years. We're going to do something different and we're going to go on board now that we're moving forward. So let me start season 3. Hi everyone, welcome to the family table. On this episode, we are going to do a Puerto Rican dish. It is empanadas. Now there's a lot of ways of making empanadas. You can do the Mexican empanadas, but this is Puerto Rican empanadas, and this is courtesy of my niece, Cindy Cortez Lefebvre. So what we're going to do is we're going to start right away because it takes a while to simmer and you want all the ingredients to marry. Now I'm going to start with 4 pounds of meatloaf mix. Now meatloaf mix consists of ground beef, ground pork, and ground veal. Now this mix you can use, of course, for meatloaf. You can use it for meatballs. You can use it for hamburgers. There's a lot of ways that you can use this meatloaf mix. And it's very nice because it's got the right amount of everything in it. So I'm going to dump it right here into my big saute pan. I'm going to make sure we take off the little paper. I've done that before and forgot to take the paper off, so we won't do that here. And we're going to get this all opened and get that right in. Just dump it right in. So what we're going to do is we're going to get all the ingredients in and then we're going to put it on the stove top. And we are going to cook it up till it browns. And then what we're going to do is we're going to let it simmer for a good 20 minutes. So in addition to that, now we're going to put all the good stuff in. Now I generally I'm not a product person that you have to have a certain product, but in this particular case, I would go with the Goya. Now this is ricotta, I do believe, and maybe I'm saying it right, maybe I'm not, but we are going to put I'm going to get Cindy's little list here, 3 heaping tablespoons. And now that's pretty heaping, right? So this, I do have to say, has, if you read the ingredients, it has all kinds of things in it. I won't read the ingredients. So we're going to get this all in here. Then we're going to do the sofrito. I think that's the only one I can really say correctly. The sofrito. And we're going to put 4 heapings. I mean, look at the nice stuff that's in there. 3, 4. Oh yeah, just gonna let that sit there a minute. So it's a Goya product, and most places carry it anyways. Garlic, minced. I like to get the garlic already minced. You can use fresh garlic and mince it up yourself, but I would use the already minced garlic. I'm just going to rinse my measuring thing off here. And this is just 1 tablespoon. Now, if you are a garlic lover, you can put more. If not, well, put less. But don't not put it in. Now, we're going to put adobo. Now, it's 2 tablespoons of adobo. Now you can I go by the covers, like the red cover or the green cover, either one. I just go by the covers. So I'm going to put 2 adobos. And the adobo, I know a lot of people use it. It can be used on all kinds of things. It is a little salty, so just be careful. If you're having problems with salt, I would probably go a little less with that. And then we're going to do the sazon. Maybe that's done right too. So it's 2 packages. So let me just get my handy scissors here. We're going to put 2 packages of sazon in. my nephew was here, Jason, that's Cindy's husband, and he came to show me because she makes him do all the work, really. She taught him how to do it. So he just kept putting stuff in and stuff in. I said, wait a minute, I have to write this down. How am I supposed to remember all the stuff you're throwing in there? Well, here's the funny thing. Out of all this, he hands me this jar of olives, and I thought, what do you want me to do with this? He says, oh, you're going to put the olives in there. I said, what do you mean you put olives in there? I hate olives. I absolutely despise olives. He says, we make it every year for Christmas Eve, and every year you eat it. And every year you tell me how good it is. I says, yeah. He says, every year I put olives in it. So I was like, I don't know, I think I was crushed. It bothered me the whole time. And after he made it, I was looking for those olives because I did not want to take them. But then he says, you know what you can do? He says, you can mince them so I won't see them. So that's what I did. So it is 1 jar. Well, we don't put the whole jar in. I got this jar. It's 9.5 ounces. So about half this jar of, and this is it's the pimentos and the capers in it. That's the other thing. I said, capers? He said, yep. He says, Auntie Cathy, just follow the directions. And I thought, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to be eating this stuff. I don't even like it. But I do love the empanadas. So I got to say, I'm okay. I'm not, traumatized or anything. So here we go. Olives. Oh. So we get them all in there, juice and all. Don't scrape on anything. We want everything in there. I can't believe I'm saying it, but darn, even that juice. Oh. But so now we got, I'm going to say in my little handy dandy thing, we have the sofrito, the ricotta, the adobo, the sazon. We have the olives, minced garlic, and if you want, and it's all up to you, I don't put it in, crushed red peppers. So we are going to go to the stove. I am going to go on this side, and we are going to get this started. Now, you're going to mash it all up and mix it all up. What we want is to have it nice and brown, and then we're going to let it simmer there. And while we're letting it simmer, we are going to make some rice. Now, I'm going to show you 2 ways of doing your empanadas. When my niece and nephew does it, they just do the big ones because, we want them to do the big ones. But when they do it for family gatherings other than our Christmas Eve, they do little ones. So I am going to show you the little ones. So we're going to let this sit there for a minute and let it get going. I have it on medium high. What we're going to do over here is I got the discos frozen. Again, it's a Goya product. You don't have to use a Goya product for this. The discos are pretty, well, you can only make them one way, so. But they come like this in a package, the ones I get. You let them defrost. They come in these little packages. What I'm going to do is have them sit out because when they're all together in the box, even though you've defrosted them, they still stay a little, cold. So we're going to just get them and let them sit out on the counter and get that all set. But they come frozen. I get the big box and make them all. The thing with your empanadas, if you're going to do it one day, stay home, get everything ready, do a bunch of them. You don't have to fry them right away. You can put them down. They freeze wonderfully. I would recommend that. This is not something that you want to do and say, oh, I'm going to make them for dinner. I mean, you can. But if you're going to make a bunch of them, do it. Also have it for dinner when you do it. And then, I'll turn that up a little bit. And then you have your dinner and you have your little things put off to the side. So, we're going to get this all chopped up. Now, when my niece and nephew does it, they just put the olives in there and they just chop up the olives. I have to say, I love the empanadas, and I had no clue olives were in there. So I was told no matter what, the olives have to go in. So we're going to get this all ready. So we'll get that going again. So in the meantime, I'm going to get a rice dish ready. So we're going to take a medium pot. Now for the rice, again, it's going to be jasmine rice, and I do get the Goya brand on this one too. You don't really have to get the Goya for the jasmine, but I do because that's what I got. We're going to use 1 can of green pigeon beans. And it's like, I thought that was kind of odd too. I never really looked for, I guess, green pigeon beans. But you're going to put the whole thing in, juice and all. We are also going to put olives. I saved a tablespoon, so we're going to put a tablespoon of minced olives in there. Again, shocking. And we're going to put 1 package of sauce. And I'm just going to stir that in a minute. And here's another little trick I'm going to tell you after I get this moving. Okay. So what we did was, now when this is all done, I'm going to end up draining it. So I'm going to put it in a strainer and I'm going to drain it in a bowl. You save the, we'll call this oil, AKA grease. Very flavorful. You can use this for a lot of things. I don't know, I know my crew in front of me over here is very young. My parents saved bacon grease. Every time they made bacon, they saved the grease. My mother used to put it in this, she used to have this old coffee cup. Well, maybe it wasn't old back then, but it was a big coffee cup. And it was right over near the stove, and there goes the grease. They would make eggs, they would slap that grease on there. We had that grease for everything. However, not very good for you, but what we're going to do is, you need 2 tablespoons of the empanada oil. 2 tablespoons of empanada oil. Okay, that's kind of heaping. If you don't want to do that, and you don't have to, you can just use olive oil. So now we got the sazon. We have the oil, the green pigeon beans with the juice. My arm should be really good after this. It's like a workout. We also, in our rice, going to use a half a can of the tomato paste. You know, they usually come in those little cans. I used half of my can the other day. So this is, never put a can of tomato sauce, tomato paste, tomato anything in your refrigerator. Always take it out of the can. If you don't take it out of the can and you refrigerate it, what you're going to have is like a metal taste. So always take it out of the can. So we're going to put this in there. Oh, it just gets better and better. It's like layering up all the good stuff. Okay. And there's more. I'm just going to flip this over so I don't make the wrong ingredients. Chasson, green peas, sofrito, 2 tablespoons of sofrito. Again, pretty heaping. And ricotta. Oh, I think, 2 also. 2. And adobo. We're going to put 1 tablespoon of adobo in. Okay, I'm just going to mix this up a little bit. Now this is going to go on the stove, and this too needs to cook a little. So we're going to let it cook for 5 minutes. We're going to bring it to a boil. Once it goes to a boil, we are going to put 3 cups of jasmine rice. So we're going to just leave that right there on the stove. Again, about medium high. Ooh. We're going to chop this up. So what this is going to give you, about 40 of those discos. So again, like I said, you can make it, have it for your supper, and then whatever's left over, you can actually just freeze them. I recommend that you put a little piece of wax paper in between them. That way they don't stick. And then when you fry them up, they'll be all set. You can also make them and then put them in the fridge, warm them up. They're not as crispy when you warm them up unless you bake them in the oven with like a stoneware, and then they'll come out a little bit crispy. I wouldn't refry them. It's might be a little bit too much, so I wouldn't do that. Now I'm going to let that go a little bit. I'm just going to stir my rice sauce. Oh. Okay, now while that is going, I'm just going to show you a couple of things with the disco. Have a cup of water. I'm just going to show you this quickly while that is in between me doing that. But I just want to show you this little trick while we're waiting for that. If you're doing it for an appetizer, you know, for a party, they come with these little wax papers. Keep them, because if you want to put them away, that's what you're going to use. So you're going to take these. I mean, they're just so perfect. Look at that. You know what else you can do with these? I'm going to tell you. You take them, right? You fill it with apple pie filling. You close them up. You fry those. Powdered sugar. Yum. Put it in a bowl and then put ice cream on it. How's that? Ha! I like that idea. I mean, you can use these for anything. Little meat pies if you want. They don't have to be empanadas. So you take them, right? You're going to cut it in half. And what you're going to do is you're going to make this cute little pocket. And if it's dry, that's why I got the water here. Sometimes they're dry, especially like the first few. You just put a little water on the edge. You close them up. Just squeeze them. Just to close them for now. And then you take your fork. Just do the little ends. Both sides. Because you don't want them popping open. And now you got this cute little pocket all ready to go. You fill that up, you fill this end, and you got the little appetizer version of an empanada. So we'll fill those up when our meat is all done. So, I mean, it takes a little bit longer, but don't try to do this. Try to fill it, then do it, because you're just going to have empanada meat all over the place. If you do it this way, Cindy taught me this one. So smart. I don't know why I did this. You have your pockets already done, ready to fill, and while the meat is cooking, you can be doing this, or you get a group together and do this. You make the family do this. However you want to do it. You can't make the big ones ahead of time, but oh, look at that. Damn, it looks good. Ha. Okay. I'm going to let that sit there. I'm going to go stir my rice juice here. Oh, yeah. Even this is almost coming up to par. So let me just get that finished off. We're going to let that go to a boil. So I got to tell you, they make big boxes of these. It's just a nice flavoring. People put it in a lot of different things, but I always have that, and I do always have adobo in my house. So I don't have olives though. I did buy this because I was like, but Cindy said, well, it doesn't have the capers, Auntie Cathy. I'm thinking, oh, man, you're killing me. But wait till you taste it. Okay. Why don't we just take a break for a few minutes and we'll come right back. Okay, so now that our empanadas and our rice juice here has been cooking, it is now at a boil. I am going to lower the temperature and I'm going to put 3 cups of the jasmine rice in. Now I already measured that. That's already 3 cups. That's all I have left, so I know what I got in here. We're going to put that right in the pan without making a mess, but it is what it is, right? And I am just going to give it a stir. Now we are going to let this cook for about 5 minutes. And then we're going to shut it off and we're just going to let it do its thing for a good 8 to 10 minutes. So I just want to make sure it's all covered. Rice is all set. There we go. Make sure we got a nice little flame there. We're going to give that 5 minutes. I am going to put the cover on it for now. Once it cooks for about 5 minutes and I shut off the heat, we are not going to touch that cover. It's like a crock pot kind of thing. It's the steam inside that's going to cook the rice. So we don't want to mess with that. So we got this going. It is pretty darn good. So what we're going to do here is, we let that juice evaporate a little bit, but it's done. I believe it's pretty good here. Okay. Like I said, we're going to strain it. So what I got here is, I got my bowl ready and my strainer. I'm going to strain it in here, and I am going to keep the oil for a later date or something else. So let me just get everything here out of the way, and let me just get my empanada meat. Oh, here we go. Now, I'm going to just get that in there. Going to try not to make a mess. It might happen. Oh, we lost a little soldier there. Yep, I'm going to make a little mess. Not too bad. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, not too bad. I'm just going to scoop it right back in because my counter's clean. Hot stuff, let me tell you. So, let the oil drain. Try not to call it grease. There. Now, of course, when you do this, it's going to be very warm at first. Okay. Now, what I said about these little ones, so what you're going to do is you're going to open them up the little pocket now, and you're going to put some in. This takes time, obviously, because you're putting these little pockets in, and hopefully you got your whole family here to help you. And if not, then they don't get any. Look at that. So we take this, push it in, take it out, and close it. Always crimp both sides. Because if you do not, they may explode when you go to fry them. So here we got our little empanada appetizer. So I'm going to get this one going, and then I'm going to start heating up the oil. So I'm going to get this little one done. So it's nice if you get together with your family. You know, you're going to make a bunch of them. Obviously, you do it maybe on a Saturday or a Sunday. Get everybody together, make a bunch of empanadas, have it for supper. And then everybody gets to eat. And maybe you do one of those things like when you do a cookie swap. Everybody comes and does cookies. Or you do your little empanadas and everybody gets to take one home. Like maybe everybody brings a box or 2 pounds of meat or whatever. I mean, it could be a fun thing. Okay, perfect. Okay, they are perfect. They're little bite-sized things. What we will do is, I just want to check my rice there. Okay. A couple more minutes and then I'm going to give it a stir and then leave it closed for 8 minutes. So this to me feels a little dry. So I am going to just take some water and just go over it. Like that. And then I'm just going to, probably 2. I mean, it's up to you. You want to overstuff them. That's totally up to you. They're your empanadas. And then we just close it all up with your fingers. Once you get it closed with your fingers, bring it to the cutting board and you crimp it. Both sides. Look, you got like a little smiley face. You'll be smiling after you eat it. Oh, beautiful. I'm going to shut that off. There we go. We're going to get the oil on. Now, I've used vegetable oil. And I do use my oil over again. If it's, I do check it, make sure it's clean. I do not do, like I wouldn't fry this, I wouldn't fry fish and then, you know, make donuts or something like that. So I do use my oil over again. I do strain it when I put it back in. So you most certainly can do that. Just don't use it like on a pastry item and then go fry fish. You can do it that way, donuts then fish, but don't do fish then donuts. So you will not be happy if you do it that way. So let's take a minute, let that oil come up, and then we'll come right back. Okay, so now the oil has come up to temperature. So I've made a few more. We're going to take these little babies here and we're going to get them fried up because, you know, that's what you do. So I'm just going to move it right over here. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the little ones first. Now you can put a couple in at a time. Just don't overload the pan because once you do, your temperature falls down. So be careful. They are going to sink and then they're going to come right up. That's when you know your oil is nice and hot. Like I said, just be careful. You're cooking these until they're golden brown. Remember, your meat's already done, so actually you're just cooking the outer shell. While these are cooking up here, you can see that there's some rice that I made the other day. I warmed it up, and then these are the empanadas. See the nice little ones? Those are nice for little appetizers. So you're gonna turn it. It doesn't take long. You can see when they're golden brown. Now you can have like on the side, if you want to put like salsa on the side, you most certainly can. You can put, I don't know, sour cream. Dip it in hot sauce. Oh my goodness, they're crying. So let me get a couple more in there. Like I said, when you're putting these in, just be careful. Obviously, the oil is extremely hot. My husband was a little excited when he says, "Ooh, empanadas for supper tonight?" I says, "Well, maybe, that all depends." He says, "Yeah, you give all the food away." He's funny. I'm just gonna lower this oil because I will make a few more. But here's our empanadas. Hot. These are already made. And I just warmed them up. This is the rice. I'm gonna show you the rice in the pan. I have not touched this. So, take the cover off. Oh. And of course, the rice does have to be fluffed. Now, this rice is supposed to be sticky like this. Not really sticky, but really firm. If you want your rice with a little bit more liquid, I would add a small can of tomato sauce in with it, and a little bit, like you've seen I did the water. I would probably add maybe a cup of water, maybe a little bit more. That way your rice is a little more liquidy, because some people do like it that way. So let me just get this in a, oh, I thought I had a spoon here. I'll use this one. And then you just put it out. Look at that. Now, there's your rice, the empanadas. What do you think? Whoops. It's a little done up there. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's my dog. Okay. I was going to call my niece and have her explain it to her in Spanish, really, but she must be busy. So I might get her someday. But put this on your family table. Enjoy your family. Make it together. Make it a whole family event. I guess Spanish rice and empanadas. Thank you. Come see me again.